The ocean is our passion. It is a place of peace and serenity, but also wild and mysterious. The ocean is where life on Earth began, more than 3.5 billion years ago. Today, billions of people depend on the ocean to survive. When I imagined the ocean as a little girl, I pictured an abundance of fish and marine life. In my mind's eye, I saw thriving coral reefs in vibrant colors. But as I grew up, that changed. Now, the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of the ocean is plastic. Plastic straws, plastic cups, plastic bags, plastic bottles, and ghost nets. Ghost nets, one of the lesser-known threats to the ocean and marine life, haunt the seas on a massive scale today. Ghost nets have only one purpose in life. They are made to kill. These silent killers are designed to catch fish and marine life even after they have been discharged. According to a 2018 study published in Scientific Reports, ghost nets account for at least 46% of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. And just so you know, the estimated size of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is 1.6 million square kilometers, which is more than 24 times the size of Sri Lanka. When I first saw Thilip Reef, I was shocked. The entire reef was covered with ghost nets. The nets were destroying the corals and keeping the reef from much needed sunlight. Some corals were trying to grow through the net, but most of the reef was hidden under this deadly blanket. At this site, it became clear where the Cleaner Seabeds for Sri Lanka expedition would go next, to Trincomalee. We planned this mission carefully, called the divers together and briefed them on the task. We purchased the necessary dive tools for this challenging dive expedition. On May 5th, it was time to leave for the east coast of Sri Lanka.
We just got back from one of our largest, I think so far the biggest cleanup dive we've ever done. And it was amazing.
With the help of 11 volunteers from the Pearl Protectors and a dive master from Sri Lanka Diving Tours, as well as the support of the Plasticcycle initiative, we launched our mission to free Thilip Reef from ghost nets without harming the marine environment. The result was enormous.
I'm really happy how we have successfully done the 12th underwater cleanup under the Cleaner Seabeds for Sri Lanka expedition. This expedition, we thought of doing this long ago because we have seen the impact. We have seen how much of plastic, how much of these nets have been entangling much of our ecosystem, the marine ecosystem, the reefs, the corals, they've been entangling.
And they made healthy coral growth on Thilip Reef impossible. Several layers of ghost nets covered the entire reef, making it a place abandoned by all marine life. Neither fish nor invertebrates or other marine species called this reef their home. Removing ghost nets is not easy and can sometimes be quite dangerous, but our volunteers from the Pearl Protectors are very well prepared.
All of our volunteers follow the strict code of conduct when it comes to conservation and when it comes to removing the ghost nets. We did a thorough briefing, a thorough training on how volunteers should clean up the reef, and thanks to that we were able to save so much of reefs that have got really entangled with ghost nets. So we were able to cut around these corals. We were able to save much of these corals. hard corals, soft corals, we were able to save it without any harm, and we were able to remove these nets.
Over a period of about 600 years, ghost nets break down into microplastics. Marine animals mistake microplastics for food and feed on them. As a result, the microplastics can damage their internal organs, prevent them from feeding, and expose them to toxic chemicals. Sooner or later, microplastics slowly rise up the food chain and eventually end up on our plates. Ghost nets are called the silent killers of the oceans, because that's exactly what they do. Even when they are no longer in use, even when they are abandoned or lost, they continue to fulfill their only purpose in life: to kill everything they catch.
During the dive, we saw a lot of starfish being entangled in the nets, like a lot of them, because they usually grow on reefs and they were growing on the nets, and I released a lot of them back into the ocean.
Removing an object from the seabed is a tricky task that requires constant team communication, excellent buoyancy control, and the ability to handle cutting devices, lines, ropes, clips, surface marker buoys, and lift bags. Over time, ghost nets merge with the environment, so divers must cut around corals and work very carefully to avoid damaging them. But the 12th Cleaner Seabeds for Sri Lanka expedition proved to be a success. 270 kilograms of ghost nets were recovered in 6 dives over 2 days. Furthermore, many lives were saved in the process.
A group of fish was already caught in it, so I got to actually cut through the net and set some fish that were alive free. So that was really nice that I got to save some lives.
Nevertheless, the expedition was physically demanding and drained the strength of the entire team. In addition, everyone was emotionally affected by the harmful effects of the lost fishing gear.
I really enjoy driving, and then you get to see a completely different world down there with a little bit of sadness that what we're doing is correcting problems from all these ghost nets and pollution, and that's always really sad. But then you get the excitement that you've fixed it.
And that's precisely what we did. Together as a team, we were able to remove 270 kilograms of ghost nets from the seabed. Unfortunately, for some marine animals, it was already too late. And although we experienced the destructive effect of ghost nets underwater firsthand, our divers drew a positive conclusion.
It feels really nice to be able to do something positive.
That's it. No words. I'm happy. Everyone is happy. 3 dives a day is a bit much, but managed.
It takes a lot of effort and energy to remove these nets from the reef. Once they are stuck on the reef, they are stuck. You can't lift them off. And they weigh a lot. So it's really frustrating to see that there's people that dump them because they want to get rid of them. And then it's so much work for us to remove them.
It is indeed physically demanding to recover such a large quantity of nets from the water. And the work continues once the nets are on the surface. They have to be lifted onto the boat and brought back to shore, where they have to be cleaned. Their future destiny must be decided, so that these ghost nets never haunt the sea again. And ghost nets can also become a dangerous trap for divers if safe diving techniques are not followed. A diver's equipment can easily get stuck or entangled in the nets, so everyone needs to be extra careful when dealing with ghost nets. But the expedition was conducted safely, and the entire team was satisfied with the outcome.
And considering the state that the reef was in before, it was really nice to actually do the last dive and see that we'd actually made a difference.
I have done the survey dive here in April, and the whole reef was covered with nets.
Unfortunately, this is no exception. Ghost nets are a persistent problem on the east coast of Sri Lanka, which is why the Cleaner Seabeds for Sri Lanka expedition team will continue to clean the reefs around Trincomalee.
We'll figure out more reefs. We have a lot of polluted dive sites, and we'll also work together on cleaning them as well.
The nets recovered during the 12th Cleaner Seabeds for Sri Lanka expedition will never return to the ocean, and it is gratifying to know that this operation is having a massive and positive impact on the marine environment.
The ecosystems will recover, the wildlife will come back, it goes back to its natural beauty.
Although it will take some time, we have given the reef a chance to recover. And our message is crystal clear.
We want to understand the viewpoint of the community as well, and to see how they can participate, how they can actively participate towards keeping these reefs clean. So I want to give a massive thank you to all the divers who joined us today, and for all the partners, all the patrons who have come and helped us and supported us in this expedition.
An expedition that was most definitely a success. With combined forces, we were able to recover 270 kilograms of ghost nets and plastic trash from Thilip Reef, leaving it the cleanest it has been in years. More work needs to be done on this reef to clean it up, but the difference is already noticeable. Marine life will slowly return.
But it takes a while for the coral to grow, you know? It takes a while for the full buoyant life to come back again in there. So, but you remove the net and it starts, and that's a good thing.
With the cleanup of Thilip Reef, the Cleaner Seabeds for Sri Lanka expedition has conducted the largest underwater cleanup in Sri Lanka to date.
Cleanup එක මම ඇත්තටම දැකලා නැහැ මගේ ලයිෆ් ටයිම් එකේ අන්ත වගේ. මට මාර සතුටුයි ඇත්තටම මේක ගැන මාරම සතුටුයි මේ වගේ ක්ලීන් අප් එකක් කරන්න ලැබීම ගැන ඒකට මගේ දායකත්වය දෙන්න ලැබීම ගැන බොහොම සතුටුයි.
நிறைய பொருள்ஸ்லாம் அழிஞ்சு போகும், அதனால் இது அவ்வளோக்கு நல்ல இல்லை. ஆனால் இதே மாதிரி இனி வரக்கூடாது கவர்மெண்ட் இதுக்குரிய நல்ல நடவடிக்கை எடுத்து இதை எப்படியாச்சும் நிறுத்துறதுக்குரிய வேலையை பார்க்கணும்.
We have cleaned a massive area already. There's more to do, but this was a great start, and we will be back in Trinco.
Because we have no other choice. Many more cleanups must and will follow to slowly remove the ghost nets from Sri Lanka's waters. But what is needed are measures to prevent fishing gear from being lost or dumped into the sea. Awareness needs to be spread about the harmful effects of ghost nets. Laws and regulations must be enacted to reduce the destructive impacts of ghost nets. Future generations depend on our sustainable choices and actions. Keep in mind, if the ocean dies, we are guaranteed to die with it.